Good morning and welcome to this Sunday's reflection. Today is the 33rd Sunday in Ordinary Time. The theme for our reflection today is the dangers of sloth and the necessity of work. You may ask, what is sloth? According to Bishop J. Footing, sloth is a malady of the will which causes us to neglect our duties. And sloth can be either physical or spiritual. It is physical when it manifests itself in procrastination, laziness, idleness, nonchalance, indolence, and what have you. It manifests itself in the spiritual dimension in indifference to character betterment, a distaste for the spiritual, secularism, relativism, lukewarmness, and failure to cultivate virtues, among others. Sloth, especially the spiritual dimension of sloth, is dangerous to our spiritual life and even our salvation. What are the effects of sloth? The book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 24, tells us that the hand of the diligent rules, while the lazy becomes a slave. And in Proverbs chapter 24, from verse 30 to 34, it tells us how unproductive, how unfruitful the field of a lazy man can be. And so, my brothers and sisters, sloth deprives us of spiritual growth. On the other hand, hard work and being alert in our spiritual life puts us on the right track. In the first reading of today, from the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, from verse 10 to 13, 19 to 20, and 30 to 31, the author sings the praises of a diligent wife, a good wife, a hard-working wife. She is a blessing to her husband and her family. And in the second reading of today, first letter of St. Paul to the Thessalonians, chapter 5 from verse 1 to 6, St. Paul invites the Christians in Thessalonica to be alert and to be awake to their spiritual duties so that they will not be caught unawares. But the gospel of today gives us the danger of sloth, as we have just seen. My brothers and sisters, there are several ways to overcome sloth, but I will try to highlight few of them. Setting our priorities right is the first. There are many ways that we work. You may be hardworking physically, economically, and academically or otherwise. You may be hardworking in these areas, but you may be slothful when it pertains to your spiritual life. And so setting your priorities right is very, very important. Oftentimes, the second best takes the place of the best in our lives. And so we need to set our priorities right. The second one is time management. A slothful person kills time or wastes time. But a diligent person manages time well, especially with reference to his spiritual or her spiritual life. So how do you allocate your time? That is the biggest challenge. The third point is to seek guidance. As Christians, we are all disciples. We are students in the school of Jesus, and we need to be well guided. Jesus himself guides us, as we see in the scriptures, especially the Gospels. Let us pay attention, read the scriptures, and be well guided. And also, to be guided by your spiritual director. Seeking the guidance of your spiritual director helps you to remain on the right track. And finally, frequenting the sacraments. The sacraments not only brings us into communication with Jesus, but also contact with Jesus. And frequent use of the sacraments helps us to cultivate virtues, to be diligent, to take our spiritual life seriously. And so, my brothers and sisters, as we celebrate this holy day, let us ask the Lord who has called us, who gives us the talents, who gives us the grace, who is the primary agent of our salvation, to grant us the disposition we need so that we may work out our salvation in fear and trembling. May the Lord help you and bless you this day and always.